Hello and welcome to the Unofficial Controller Podcast, your weekly gaming podcast, episode 221, if you believe that. With me, George, this week joined by RGT. State of play to my... Look at the state of the man. How's it going?
Very, very well, thank you. How are you?
I am probably running at about 70% enthusiasm, so I'm going to need you to just to reach deep within yourself and carry me to the end of the show. I don't know. Sometimes we wake up as human beings and our enthusiasm seems to be down a couple of notches. I personally...
Do you need a cuddle?
Well, I was going to blame you, actually, because
since
you've been gallivanting around doing this, holidays in Cornwall, can't do that, bodyboarding with Rick Stein.
Mm-hmm. That's not really a break, though, when you got the old paparazzi following you everywhere trying to snap pictures of you and Rick. That's not easy. It's not relaxing.
To be fair, when he fell off that bodyboard and came up with a blooming cod in his teeth, I was impressed. I mean, that's how he must catch his fish.
Definitely. That's why they're so expensive. Their teeth caught by Rick Stein.
He wraps his teeth in his lips so he doesn't actually puncture the flesh.
Yeah, you can't puncture it. Otherwise you can't sell it. So he has to sort of do a bit of a gum job.
I don't even want to stroke that fur. I'll be honest with you, friend. I don't even want to acknowledge its existence.
Yeah.
Rick Stein giving a gum job to a cop. Get the AI going on that bad boy. See what comes up. New T-shirt idea for the back end of the year.
Ooh. Anyway, is your enthusiasm back now?
It's up to 72%, I think. So
we're getting there.
It's a good sign to push on with what we have. I think those that are familiar with the show will know what I'm going to ask you next, but those that aren't familiar with the show, maybe this is their first time. Maybe they've gone, oh, well, do you know what? These AI-generated episode names, they carry weight. Let me find out what's going on here. So stick around because we're going to bring you a state of play catch-up. We're also going to bring you, if you're on any other platforms and you think, oh, this state of play talk, what have I got? Well, don't worry, we're going to bring some presents under your mid-season tree. Then we're going to bring in the mighty Ray, and he's the medium which we're going to have a look at this week's new releases. Then I'm going to ask you what you're hoping to play. But the show cannot begin, and it will not begin. 221 episodes, exactly the same. RGT.
Yes.
What have you been playing?
I only played about 3 games this week. I actually hadn't played anything till Friday. That was just one of them weeks with work. It is busy, and then after work, you've got stuff to do, blah, blah, blah. So I got Friday and thought, right, I'm going to have to play some games. But
what are you busy at now the early adopter boxes have gone out?
I've just been working a lot. Long hours, getting home, and then because Mrs. RGT finishes after me, so a bit of housework.
You're basically massaging the stats and serenading the Discord, and that's your full-time occupation. Unbelievable.
Pretty much. So,
do you bring any of Rick Stein's roe eggs back with you?
Oh yeah, loads. Can sell them on eBay. I've got a fund game shed somewhere. Yeah. So anyway, back to the games. I jumped on the Switch with Final Vendetta this week.
Did it survive?
Yeah.
You're very svelte now, but I would have thought the Switch was a bit too gentle for that.
No, it's got a screen protector, so.
Of course.
Yeah, really good one. No, yeah, Final Vendetta. So I jumped on that because I thought I've heard that's a short game and fancy to beat them up. But I read a few reviews where people slated this game, and I thought it's a bit harsh because I think, well, at the end of the day, it's could you call it a budget game? I suppose you could call it budget. It's by Bitmap Bureau and Numbskull again. Another one of our friends from Numbskull.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is, like I say, a couple of reviews I read slated a bit, so I was didn't know what to expect when I played it, but it's really good. So I scrolled and beat them up. pixel art, fantastic music, really good. Got some sort of cheeky sound effects from like Streets of Rage in there when you pick things up.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one sound effect I kept thinking, it's when I can't remember what it is, when you pick, it's not when you pick money up, it's when you pick something up, or it's near the end, I think, when they're doing your scores, and it kept coming up with this sort of little record scratch, sort of DJ, and I remembered that was the Tony Hawk sound when you collect stuff in the game and you get that ching, that like scratch. That was like that noise. So there was loads of nostalgia with the game. I've played through it twice, completed it twice. It's sure you can do it in 25, 30 minutes. But that's not a bad thing. I know people are complaining about that, but that's not a bad thing. When you ain't got much time, it's a great game to play. I really enjoyed it. It's got that proper cheesy 80s, 90s story. Girl's sister gets kidnapped. You have to go and get her back. Beat the bad guys up on the way. Boss at the end of each stage. Does what it says on the tin. So really good. It's cheap. I mean, I think this game was I think $15 I think on the Switch. You can pick it up the same on the PS5. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. So I don't quite know what all the reviews I read that were saying it was a poor beat 'em up arcade port and not great and all. I don't quite know if people quite got what it was, but no, really enjoyed that. So I had a couple of hours on that. I also started because I played through a couple of years ago the Batman Telltale game. I really enjoyed that. So I noticed, how
does that play out? Because I've always been kind of interested by it. Is it like the other Telltale games? Or, how do you take someone down?
It's, like I say, the first one I played a couple of years ago, I'm trying to think how to explain it. It's like the Walking Dead Telltale games. You'll be walking around an environment, clicking on things, solving things. You have, very basic not puzzles, but mysteries to solve. But then your combat is followed up with quick time events. That'll be quick time.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the first one. I'm not like Bobby. I'm not up to the law on Batman and what is the right law. I don't quite know how they followed, but this one seemed different to me, the Telltale one. And it is very dark in places. I mean, some of the subject matter was, this is quite deep, this. So it was...
go there. What's so deep it can barely be said on the UCP?
Well, I think it was referring to abuse and things like that. So I won't go no further than that.
Keep it light. Light.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was good. So I saw that had come on to...
Can I say you look like Chopper?
Chopper?
Yeah, there was a DVD out back in the day. I think it was about some Australian criminal called Chopper.
Oh, thanks. I mean, I'm presuming that's a compliment to look like an Australian criminal.
Yeah. I mean, an Australian criminal's got to be like the highest level criminal ever because he's coming from criminal origins.
Oh, yeah, technically.
Sorry to all the Australian listeners.
They've just switched off.
From a heritage of crime. So if you end up going to crime in Australia, you're the devil. Although, saying that...
Oh, we'll be talking about crime. Should we get
most of them were there for stealing an apple and they were starving. So I don't know if that makes you one of the craze. So maybe
you've gone off on a tangent here. I mean, providing us an audio show as well, so they can't actually see me looking like a chopper.
They're going to go off and Google Chopper, and
yeah, well, I'd probably
as far as I'm concerned,
yeah, but I'd probably
absolutely massive chopper.
Yeah, I don't Google massive chopper. You might want to add in Australian criminal onto
big axe. That's all they're going to see.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Yeah, Batman. That's it. That's the second one, and the enemy within. So I saw it on PS Plus and thought, oh, that's on there now. Download it. Well, I played the first episode. Oh no, you have to pay for the other episodes. I thought, so it's not the full game on here. I thought,
that's a bit dirty.
That is, because it doesn't tell you anywhere that isn't there. It just says, Batman, the enemy within. So I just downloaded it and thought,
there's a bit of that going on, I think, with quite a few things on the PS Plus catalogue where you're like, great. And then one thing that's been bugging me lately is, this is part of games catalogue. And I'm like, is that like games that are like Sony made that I just get to keep forever when they come on PS Plus? Google, no answers really. Some
No.
people say, oh, yeah, you get to keep them, but they're answering a question from about 4 years ago in reference to PS Plus. Then you're like, well, is this game's catalogue? And then the Sony website's like, well, they're kind of in your library forever unless we pull them from the library, in which case you'll have to buy them. But maybe not. Maybe we will. What's happening here?
I was a bit disappointed because, like I say, when you go to download it, I know it was in episodes, just how Telltale done their games. Usually you had them fortnightly, whatever, and you played the game like you would have, TV series. But it doesn't say that. It just says Batman, the Enemy Within, the Telltale second season.
As soon as the seasons had finished, they should have amalgamated them together.
Yeah.
Put them up as one for $30 or whatever it is. And then that's the game that you download now. Now Telltale is... Hang on, let me check my watch. I thought they were dead. I don't know why I'm checking their watch to take their pulse. I don't know why I've got a corpse in here either, dressed as Telltale Games. But I have. I thought they were dead.
Well, I think
no, they survived.
They've been doing The Wolf Among Us 2, haven't they? They came back, someone bought them out. But so now, if I want to play, I think there's 6 episodes. If I want the other 5, that's £5.35 an episode, or $11.99 for the rest of them. Well, obviously, you're going to do the $11.99, so I'll end up doing it. But also, what I found, there was people, I Googled it, I couldn't find nothing on it. Why is it only one episode on? They sort of lure you in on PS Plus. And then there was people saying, well, they had the disc version of the game, but it's only got episode 1 on it. So you have to download the rest. It hasn't got, and I thought,
so you don't have to buy them then?
You don't have to buy them, but they're not actually on the physical disc. So if they then go, I don't know.
That's a nice game to look forward to playing in 2060, isn't it? Take it into your retro console.
Yeah. So I don't quite know. I mean, they're not massive games in gigs wise. I don't understand why that's only.
Let me confess to you now, because you brought something to the forefront of my mind. I'm having a really ropey relationship with physical copies.
What as to what is actually on the disc or
no. That just brings even more doubt to my mind. But I'm still picking up the physicals, don't get me wrong. But the freedom, especially now since I've got Portal, is removed. Because I want to play this. Oh, I'm going to have to go home and swap the disc.
Oh, I see what you mean.
That's not working for me.
No, because
now a lot of the ones at the minute covered off with the PS Plus catalogue. And I checked again last night in my own digital library, 524 games. I was like, my God. When did this happen? Most of them are PS Plus pickups, the weekly games, the monthly games. But, yeah, I've
never thought, obviously, I haven't got a Portal, so I've never thought of that. I thought, I can't play on my games. I can only play the one that this is in the system, unless it's a digital.
See, I've got Helldivers physical. I've recently, for Valentine's Day, I got Elden Ring. And I settled down the other night to play a little bit of Helldivers. It's like, disc needs to be in the console. Oh, no. Oh, no. That means Elden Ring's in the console. I don't want to play that now. I just want some nice cuddles and hugs. I don't want that.
Yeah, I've never thought of it like that. So, yeah, that's sort of put us, if you've got a Portal.
I've been on the edge of it with my remote play PS4 that I've been using as well. If I remote play to the PS5, get it on the big screen, I'm like, yeah, I feel like a player. PS4 Pro's taking a holiday. Fan barely cuts in when it's streaming. It's just like, yeah, just knock yourself out. I'm just here. I don't know what the appropriate term would be. I'll just do your bidding. And I've kind of been on the edge of it there, but with the Portal, it's just brought it more to the forefront, and kind of blasts a hole into the logic of buying the games, the physical games.
Yeah, that's made me think as well, because I've often thought about getting a Portal, but I've never thought of that side of it. I've always thought,
but think of it this way: you're a top tier PS Premium subscriber.
Mm-hmm.
This is the band-aid that gets me through. You've been in the PlayStation ecosystem for some time, so you will have upwards of 500 games. I would say, no disrespect to you. The vast majority are probably unplayed.
Yep, definitely.
So, do I have any means to complain? Probably not really.
No, true.
Hit me up with this last game that you've been playing.
Well, I did try. This was as of recording last night. I saw it came up on PS Plus again, funnily enough. This was Crime Boss Rockay City. I saw cropped up. And it's always intrigued me, this game. And I thought...
is it any good or no?
No. It's... I mean, you've got Michael is it Madison in it? You've
Madsen, his name is, I think, isn't
yeah,
it? Yeah,
and then Chuck Norris is in it, and Vanilla Ice. No, is it Vanilla? Yeah, Vanilla Ice.
CGI, because I've sticked well away from this game. Because as soon as I saw it announced, I was like, well, that's going to be a pup because they've blown most of the budget. Because none of those actors are getting out of bed for less than a 10-bit of methadone and at least £2 million in the bank.
Yeah. I played the first sort of tutorial stage, which is it's first person. You have to do. You get given this job. The guy's speaking to you on your earpiece, and you could. This is single player, by the way. I haven't played multiplayer. Me and Board, I might give it a go. But it's
fair play to him.
Yeah, it's and you could change between your characters at certain points to do different jobs, which is weird because otherwise they just stand there. So you got one round by the biffa bins at the back, keep and watch, one at the front, one round the side, and then they'll just stand there and wait.
Next to that sort of orange skin that always ends up round the back of industrial bins.
Yeah, pretty
Why?
much.
And a tea bag, dry.
Yeah, and a tea bag, yeah. And an old soggy cardboard box. But and then you'll go around and I'll tell you what to do, go in the back, and then the guards literally are just there. You can walk in, they don't even hear you. So you'll go up and then you just cable time. You don't gag them, so they could shout anything, nothing, and you just walk in. You have to do this sort of, you can either pick the lock on the jewel cases or just smash them, and then you just hold square and that just goes big, and takes the jewels, and then you put it in the van, and then that's the mission done. And I was like, it looks okay graphically. Facial animations now at the famous people, it looks like them, but it's a bit, it's not amazing.
What do the non-famous people look like? True Crime Streets from LA, or are they a bit better than that?
Pretty much, yeah. Just your generic. I think so. They bought them off the Epic store or something. It's not terrible looking, but it's just. I think you hit the nail on the head. They went all in first, getting these superstars for the game, and then thought, "Oh God, we only got £13
well,
left to finish the game."
Superstars should be applied very liberally to this to this recipe as well.
Okay. Yeah, okay. They got some B-listers to do.
I think B-list should be. Some of those guys would struggle to open a quick save in Bradford.
Yeah, but I don't know. I presumed this was like almost a Grand Theft open world clone, but I don't think there's no open world. So I've only done this first part, so I might be wrong. I would imagine as you go through the game, you'll plan your heists together and go and do them. But
I think it's just going to be 30 missions of exactly what you've done.
And also when I started it said single player and main campaign, but then it also said there was like a section for what I was on plan then. There was another section, then there was something saying coming soon in the store. And I thought, hang on. So have you got to buy this in set? I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But I mean, yeah, it's not what I thought. I thought this was going to be an open world crime game, but it was my first mission was just a linear.
So can you drive around as Chuck Norris, or is Chuck Norris your man to call in at that point?
I wasn't even given the option to drive. But that is the first level. I might be wrong. You might be able to drive in later levels. I will come back to it next week. Let me have a play and see. I'll go try and.
I can't wait.
Yeah, nor can I. Jeez, but yeah, that's not quite what I expected. But and it was like something ridiculous, like 80 gigs or 90 gigs, and I was just like, I'm not sure where this has come from.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you like video games, podcasts, and reminiscing? I'm actor, video game writer, and total sweetie pie Connor Savage McCabe, and on each episode of Call Me By Your Game, I sit down with a guest for an intimate look at a special game from their past. Did you and your dad beat Spyro the Dragon over the holidays? Or was Halo 4 the one thing that united your roommates during your senior year of college? Stories like these are what Call Me By Your Game is about. From video game content creator Janet Garcia to Hades voice actor Courtney Vinay's, I interview wonderful comedians and game industry friends about these memories. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts, and maybe someday you'll call me by your game.
I can think of far better things of 90 gigs I could store on my hard drive. That's a fact.
Well, when you think things like Rift Apart was 40 and looks 10 times as good, you know, it's strange to think where all that is coming from, but not sure. But yeah, we'll see. I maybe play a bit just to see after the tutorial what actually is involved in this game. Maybe the multiplayer is good. Maybe I'm not giving it enough praise. Maybe the multiplayer will be all right. It'll be good fun between two of you. As a single player for the first level, that's okay. But yeah, we'll see. But unfortunately, that's all I've played this week. So, what have you been playing, George? More Helldivers Vita.
I've been playing a little bit of that.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realise I got the PS4 version of Helldivers one on.
Yeah, so you got Vita as well. You got the Vita one then.
Yeah, I know, but we had it on PS Plus, didn't we? I didn't even realise I'd purchased the actual.
I actually bought it.
Oh, did you?
I put some money in my wallet a couple of years ago and bought it on the Vita store.
Yeah,
and then when I bought it, I thought I didn't have enough space on my memory card. So I thought, I'll come back to that. I thought. Maybe 6 months after that, I thought, how do I download this? And I went into my software download list. And normally the games that you've just bought are at the top. And Helldivers wasn't there. So I did a lot of Googling. Probably a couple of months later, I came back to it again, scrolled all the way to the bottom of my list, and there it was. And I mean right at the bottom.
Oh, my God.
Underneath the first game I ever bought on Vita, which is unbelievable. Because I bought a lot of tat on Vita digitally. I've had a lot of the PSN titles when it used to be PS3, Vita, PS4. They used to do 3, didn't they? And a lot of them were cross-play. So Helldivers 1, still actually a fun little distraction. I like the pick-up and playness of it. And that to me is great. The drop in, drop out. Sometimes when I play Big Boys Helldivers 2, I just want to drop in for a quick 15-minute session and bounce. If I'm enjoying myself, I might do another one. And I know everyone's going to probably scream at me, but I like the thin, determined numbers missions. I just think they're just insane, especially on the higher difficulties. It's just crazy. And I just want that 15 minutes of chaos. But then you end up doing a mission with some people, men, women, I don't know, but they seem good. They help you. You work as a unit. They're trying not to shoot you. It's like, yeah, this is going places. Then you get back and I go and immediately stand next to the Hell Dive pod again, like a little Labrador, like, come on, Georgie wants to play. And then either you get kicked, right?
They kick you off the session.
Yeah. I don't know whether because they're leaving. Normally it says host has left the game if they've just turned their console off. But quite often I've been kicked. Maybe I'm not high enough stats. Maybe I don't play their way. Maybe I don't bring the stratagems. Maybe they just want to invite in their friend. I don't take it personally. I really don't care. But then sometimes they'll go to the war computer and start the next mission. Like, yeah, and it comes up 40 minutes. It's like, I ain't got 40 minutes for this. I'm complaining, maybe I just need to ration, embrace my game time a bit more. Rachel loves watching me play Helldivers. I have absolutely no reason. I don't know why.
Really?
It's her favourite game to watch.
Wow. What, because of the action, you think? Or
possibly. It's like, just put the oven on. Or when do we need to check tea? 15 minutes. Oh, you got enough time for a quick Helldivers. Simmer down, take me 15 minutes to turn the console on. All right, then, I say. So a little bit of Helldivers 2. Been playing F1 Manager. Not the latest one, the special title, the 23, I think it is. There's nothing wrong with the game, but it's so much like its predecessor. I regret buying it. Because didn't
you platinum 22, didn't you?
No, but I pretty
You were
much did
close.
everything in it.
Yeah,
I'm not in. I'm not going to go chasing stuff down.
I used to find out with the FIFAs, if the games are really too similar and you've put hundreds of hours in the one previous, it's a bit like, oh, do I go through this again?
And that's exactly how it felt. And I got midway through the season, or maybe over halfway through the season. About a quarter of the way into the season, I was winning both championships. But I knew maintaining the pace of development that was thrust upon me at that moment was way too much for Ferrari to keep up with. I just didn't see a way of matching the development of the others. So I thought, okay, I've got a really great car at the moment to build off. It's got me quarter of the way. I mean, let's face it, on my current save, it's got me halfway into the season and I'm still in the top 5. And I've changed maybe the front wing and that's it. So it was a great car base to start with. And if you underfuel it, maybe 2 or 3 laps, so you've got the weight advantage at the start and you tell the drivers to absolutely kill the battery and absolutely kill the fuel, you can make a race of it. And then you can earn the fuel back later on in the race by conserving your fuel. Or if there's a safety car, my underfuel strategy, I always punch the skies when there's a safety car. Because I'm like, yes, 1 lap of conserving fuel behind the safety car and all my underfueling is sorted. So it's still very technical. It's very tactical. There's different levels to operate on, but it's ultimately underneath the same game.
Yeah, if there's not enough change added, you don't feel like you've got a new challenge. You feel like you're just going over old ground.
Absolutely not. So I'm a bit hesitant about getting the newest one. But maybe there's enough changes in that. But now I've had this middle one. Will there be enough change in the next one for me to appreciate it? I don't know. If you're new to it, or we spoke to Greg last week, he said he likes F1. He came to it through the medium of Drive to Survive. I think this would be a great game to sit down and play with your other half. You could play it together. It could be a co-op game. Ultimately, you don't need to have fast reactions because you can pause the game. Not that you need to be that quick, but if you want to, you can stop time, make changes, and unpause. So you don't need to be nails at reaction time. You don't need to be one of these, Twitch shooters kings or anything like that. You can just sit down and enjoy it. And if you don't even want to watch the races, you can simulate them all and then just manage the business element of the team, which you can do. What else have I been playing? When the waves of melancholy, not just gamer melancholy, but just everything, and you can just feel you're going into a dark phase. Last night, I was kicking through my library and physical and digital, and I was like, oh, this is what choices do to you. You shouldn't have built this game.
I was doing exactly the same.
Snivelling worm. You sat pledging a game box longer than you've actually spent playing a game. What an absolute loser.
I was doing? I wanted to play. I need to get in since Horizon Zero Dawn. I've never really played a big, epic open world game, and I was thinking, right, that's what I really want to play. What have I got?
Bid and West.
Well, yeah, but I was going through and thinking of. But the problem was, I was then thinking, but then again, I've only got 2 hours before I go to bed. I should have started this earlier, not now. And so I didn't really feel like playing a little game. So I wanted to play a big game. Then I played this crime boss, and that nearly completely drained any game and love I had out of my body. So I was just like, oh, and then by the end of it, I just went to bed. But it's just that.
And that's what I did yesterday.
I was just flicking through for like an hour through my library, which maybe I'll start. No, I've got that one. Maybe I'll start that. And no, if I start that, I'll need to carry on. And then I can't. Oh, that was a nightmare. I thought I wish I just had like my Mega Drive in one game. You play that, you don't play anything, And I just thought, yeah, I know what you mean.
Last night I
Netflix syndrome.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the problem I have with the PS Premium, and I think it's the problem that I have with that Games Pass, because I was a big advocate of the 360 era, but then I go on Games Pass, I'm no, not really. And this new one, well, I've already got it on there, and might have that on Switch, and I don't know what to. Maybe I'll get a bit retro. Maybe I'll go Viva Pinata. Yeah. No, I ought to play Helldivers or whatever it is, And there's so much choice. You're literally paralyzed by it. And Was only better back in the day when I had 6 games on the shelf? No, not really. Not really. Anyway, all that to one side, I've been playing a bit of Killzone on the PS4, Shadowfall.
This is so weird. I was going to start this week. If I'd had time, my plan this week was, because I haven't played the Killzone series, although I've got them, I was going to start on the PS2 and start Killzone this week.
Mate, let me tell you now, I've played Killzone on the PS2, and it is quite the technical achievement. And I've got it on PS3 as well as part of this pack. Trilogy pack.
That's quite expensive now. That pack.
It can't be. I pulled it out of a bin.
That I think it is. I think I looked that up to try and buy that and thought, that's a bit of a. That's expensive.
Is it?
I think so.
I didn't pull it out of a bin, but I think if I paid more than 5 to 10 quid for that, I'd be shocked.
Yeah, that's £70 plus that game.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the Killzone trilogy, HD trilogy. Yeah. So I thought, I'll just get that and play it on my PS3 at home. And I sort of looked up and thought, some people. I mean, people ask what people ask, but sealed ones are going 100 plus. So yeah, that's why I thought, well, I've got the original. I'll start.
I guess it's the only way to play it on a relatively modernish system without getting the cable out for one game as well, when 2 and 3 exist without it. Killzone on the PS2, technical achievement, but whoa, you're going to need an attitude adjustment to get through that bad boy. I tell you, it's a lot.
Sorry to jump in again. Is Shadowfall linked, or was that a completely separate story to the Killzone?
Without ruining too much, at the end of 3, some stuff goes down, and the Helghast are kind of sent to live on another planet, but they've been given a corner of it, which they kind of forcefully occupy, and kind of have kicked the current incumbents out. There's a little bit of a Israel-Palestine thing going on in the background there, really, if you think about it. Not that but maybe that's the story that they're trying to tell. I don't know. But the beat-to-beat gameplay, it left me feeling a bit like that.
Really?
There's some cool bits in it, don't get me wrong. There's some, and I'm still just getting into the game, but you get this little AI drone that can cloak and uncloak, and you can use it as a zip line. You can use it as a shield or a healing device, and you can also use it to dispatch enemies. It's quite weak, so if they turn on it and get a couple of rounds on, it comes back and repairs on your back. A bit like Helldivers, I suppose, because I've got a little guard dog in that, laser guard dog, that I don't go anywhere without. It's a lifesaver. It means you can... In Helldivers, it means you don't need to be checking your 6 all the time, because the guard dog rover's probably going to clean up your backside for you, like Mumsy after your first poop.
Nice.
Yeah. And it makes you look like a gaming hero, even when you're probably below average at it. So, yeah, got a lot of time for that. Anyway, as part of the tutorial, stood on a cliff and you see 2 guys at the bottom of it, and you kind of dispatch it down there, and it kind of like just appears. It sort of appears next to them. And the sound of its gun, it's got this minigun on it. And I did think to myself, how does anyone survive that? So it was like the amount of rounds it expended, like the mate was sort of dodging it and sort of moving around. And then it got hit, so it came back up, and then they turned their attention to me, so I hid while it repaired, and then popped out and sent it back down again. Entered another... Yeah, it's quite satisfying to watch. And then I told it to turn into a zip line and zip down. In fact, I did die in one of the moments, because you have to wait when you select zip line mode. You have to wait for the button to light up so you can fire the zip line. And I was being a bit impatient, and I was like, why won't this light up? Why won't this light up? And it lit up finally right on the edge of the cliff. I thought, you must have to zip line down there, then jump down to the next area. So I zip line down there, but my character's momentum, which wasn't controlled by me, propelled him off the cliff.
You just base jumped.
He landed, and I was like, this is great. And then he kind of stumbled forward a little bit and went straight off the cliff. I was like, no. Maybe that was a bit too near the edge. But it's enjoyable. It's
quite good graphically, if I remember rightly, isn't it, for a PS4 game?
Yeah, it's basically like a very linear walk through the non-forgotten world of Horizon Zero Dawn. You know, the blue skin schematics that come up. I knew that they did it, and I never really I've played the other. I've dabbled with the other kill zones. Probably 2 is my one that I'm most enamored with, if I'm being honest. And yeah, if you want to see if you want to role play or pretend that you're in the world of Horizon before it goes all bad, and Killzone, probably Shadowfall ain't a bad game to have a play at. It's even got Lance Reddick in it as your adopted father.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So him and Gorilla were tight like sardines.
I was going to say, yeah.
And I think that might be all I've been gallivanting about with, really. I downloaded Octodad for the Vita, but I haven't got around to playing it. Like, there's some really cheap bangers in there at the moment. So if anyone's got a Vita kicking around, I know everyone, Bada Binks, is sat up like this. It's like, tell this man he's crazy. I tell him to hack his Vita. It's no reason to be buying the games with its console anymore. It's not even supported properly by Sony. They don't mind if you hack it. It don't matter to them. I say, I know all this bad things, I do, but I'm still giving them the money because I'm a big shill. It's so stupid that I try and send you a link. You don't even need to be a specialist on the internet. Was that Italian?
Yeah, very good. It's just like having him in the room.
The thing is, for the long-term listeners, they're like, oh, yeah, Bada Binks, that's what George always does as his voice. But we've had the absolute honour of meeting him now.
Yeah.
And he doesn't...
No. No, he doesn't, bless him.
But, you know, for the law, he does sound like that. So I don't know why I've been doing stuff like that, because I also grabbed, because it was cheap, even though I own it on PSP 2 times, I also picked up Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
Oh, okay.
Which is absolutely banging game.
Because there was Peace Walker and there was that Acid one as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Portable Ops and Acid, they don't really scratch my itch.
Are they like a real-time strategy or something?
They're kind of like, I think Acid is like a weird sort of almost board game, really. There's squares on the ground that they're your moves counted out.
I think that's the one I've got. I don't think.
And then there's Portable Ops, which I think took away the grids and made it a little bit more free-flowing. And then Peace Walker is basically what inspired 5. You know, with the more open world, you put the balloons on people, up they go on the lift things, and you take them back. And I think it sits between. I think Peace Walker's set in like the 60s and 70s, and it kind of is the one that feeds into 5. Like, you build in that game, you'll build in the PSP game, you're building the oil rig or base that they're based on in the next game. So, yeah, it's. Metal Gear Solid fans are like, no, George, that's not right. That's not the law. Metal Clone Solid Dog did that, and you ain't got a clue what you're talking about. Like, yeah, all right, chap. Calm down. I like Metal Gear, but I'm not an absolute rabid fan. I'm trying to do my best. So I kind of used to play that a lot on the PSP, and it's kind of cool to have it on the Vita. So
yeah, definitely.
And I also picked up, because it was super cheap, Organ Trail. It's backwards it's cross-play on the PS4 as well.
Do you mean Oregon Trail?
It's a remake of Oregon Trail, but it's a zombie apocalypse, but done with those kind of 4 to 8-bit VGA graphics. It's Organ Trail.
That sounds awesome. I've never heard of that.
Bobby's probably finished it 6 times.
Yeah.
I was intrigued by it and thought I'd grab it. So, yeah, there's been a smattering of different games. I'm kind of always looking out for that next big game that I've not played that's passed me by maybe 5 years ago, but there's not much likelihood really. And that annoys me sometimes because I'll sit down and start replaying a banger and I'll be like, oh, it's too soon. It's too soon. Like I've recently redone all the Uncharted's. I think we've still got 4 and Lost Legacy to finish. I've got Alan Wake still to finish, but I hit that sort of midway boss thing and then kind of lost enthusiasm with it because it just felt super cheap to me. I don't like getting cheaped in games. Really, that's just cheap. That feels like Sonic 1. You know, you've gone from giving me the freedom of Green Hills and thinking the game's going to be like this to suddenly the second level or the second world is a pixel perfect precision platformer. But hang on a minute, based on the adverts, I want to go fast. And going fast in anything other than Green Hill Zone or what's that one set in the pinball machine or the casino, you can lose yourself in those. Everything else, if you don't hit that next platform,
them fire pits, and
you're done.
Yeah, you're
literally done. And that's a little bit how that moment in Alan Wake felt. It wasn't, but yeah, I need to just get back into that and get it finished because I want to get it done and off the hard drive, and I'll probably give it a couple of games and I'll get Control bossed as well because I do like the universe. I just maybe shouldn't have played Alan Wake, gone straight into Alan Wake 2. It was a mistake. We've always talked about the plate cleanser. That's the dishwasher. I'm talking about the palate cleanser.
Yeah.
With that all said and done, there's no Michael Elfwick this week.
Nope.
You don't even care anymore, do you? Just like, no, I'm too busy to pull a random game down off my shelf to justify it, George. I'm past that now. I'm bigger.
Take the paycheck and roll out here.
Nice. That brings us to the news. Probably the bit that everyone's been trying to get through to get to the bit that they wanted to find out about. We scoured the very darkest region of the internet to bring you the latest stories. First up, State of Play June. No, it was May 24. Are you ready for this, RGT? Before I get into it, without giving away, because people may not have seen anything, although I did go on the Discord and I got a heads up. Early doors, what might be in it, transpired to be 100% correct, which surprised me. It's not often I pay for a sort of subterfuge and it work. But yeah, my deep mole came good. What did you... It was on at a strange time.
Yeah, I didn't watch it at the time. I watched sort of bits and pieces the following day because obviously I have to be up really early, so I was in bed at that time, which was odd. But then I sort of woke up to very mixed responses.
I was, if I'm honest, thinking about relaxing your morning routine, you know, because I know you get up at the Cracker Sparrows and then you wash and prepare yourself and then you attend to me. You get me up the way I like to be got up.
Always get you up in the morning.
Yeah. And I was thinking that if we relaxed all of that back 1 hour, so I arise at 10, you can arise 1 hour later at 5, because you were getting up at 4, because you obviously need all my food prepared. You don't sound very gracious for this.
No. Just, you always want, don't you?
Tell Tom, OG Tom, it might not all be over yet. You just tell him from me. Fed up with these divas. So what did you make of the show?
Like I say, I just watched parts the next day, so I know we're talking about it, so I wanted to see a lot of your reactions on them. I thought it was okay. The first few people I follow on YouTube came up and it was just like, disaster, awful, terrible, and I'm like, oh dear.
But is that what gets clicks? This is where the AI calls this show.
Everything's a drama now, isn't it? So soon as like Xbox...
AI, if you're listening, this episode needs to be called Chaos at PlayStation. State of Play brings bankruptcy to Sony's door.
Wow, that's going to be mixed in with Rick Stein and a cod.
Rick Stein saddles a cod and declares PlayStation dead from the neck down. Episode 200. I don't know what episode it is anymore. 221.
21, I think.
Yeah. Never
yes.
been kissed before.
So I just went. I went through the games, sort of watched the ones I thought looked interesting. I thought that was okay. I think, I don't think it was anything that was going to set the world alight, but I think it was still all right.
I thought it was okay. There was nothing in there. I mean, there was a few moments, and we'll get to this in a moment. Let's get there. So, State of Play May 24. In stark contrast to the prolonged, seemingly unending rumours leading up to it, Sony's latest State of Play presentation was announced and executed in less than 48 hours. We're now on the other side of the show, having seen a total of 14 games in the span of just over 30 minutes, including some updates from one or two first-party studios. If you weren't able to watch the State of Play live, don't panic. Don't panic. Because this is almost like having a woman's naked body described to you from behind a curtain. You'll never really know what she looks like. But that's audio podcasting for you. So I'll rattle through them, RGT, and then we'll go and pick off some of the bits that I've found interesting or maybe were noteworthy, and go you do the same. Not that my opinion is more valid than anybody's, that's a fact. So kicking it off, Concord is Sony's answer to Overwatch, launches August, beta test in July. Dynasty Warriors Origin could be the comeback fans have been waiting for on PS5. Maybe. Monster Hunter Wilds gets first gameplay, looks like Evolution of the World. Infinity Nikki PS5 is an open world anime dress-up game of your dreams. God of War Ragnarok PC officially confirmed 19th of September. Don't know why that was in there, but, fair play. Ballad of Antara offers high-fidelity free-to-play RPG action on PS5 in 2025. Astrobot looks absolutely gorgeous. Lands on PS5 this September. Where's the VR mode, you dogs? Anticipated free-to-play action RPG Path of Exile 2 ventures to PS5 later this year. Until Dawn looks scarily good in PS5 gameplay trailer. Arrives in fall 2024. It might be time for me to play Until Dawn again, because to me it didn't look any different to how my memory memorized how that game looked, which was still pretty good back in the day.
I'm not sure about it.
Which bit?
In a minute.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we'll speak about it in a minute.
Marvel Rivals officially confirmed for PS5. Closed beta test in July. Open world martial arts where Wind meets announced for PS5. Silent Hill 2's PS5 remake emerges from the fog on 8th of October. Behemoth is an all brutal combat and big baddies in PSVR 2 gameplay trailer. Alien Rogue Incursion PSVR 2 gameplay creeps up on unsuspecting holiday launch 2024. That was the 30 minutes of state of play wrapped up in probably just under 30 seconds. I could have painted visuals with my words, but I chose to go the more traditional route. RGT, yes. I want to start with this straight out the gates. Concord. I was like, wow, what is this? This looks great. I want to get to know this cast of characters. It felt like an Insomniac game. It had a feel of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, but then it had like the overtones of Guardians of the Galaxy, but it also had the kind of storytelling. I was like, oh, I could see me getting into this. Then when it expanded further onto the idea of it basically being Overwatch, my interest tanked immediately. I like the idea of the ship. I like the idea of them being free runners. I like the idea of them being these criminals. I kind of like the idea of every 2 weeks getting a new CGI bit of information, like little CGI story montage. Now, checking in with OG Tom, Overwatch does something very similar, but you're not going to pull people away from Overwatch because they're all doing the cosplay and running around with hamsters in balls and sexually provocative uniform. Like, well, who am I to say that? Anyway, skimpy clothes, cosplaying, living the dream. They've got the Funko Pomps. They've got the whole bag of tricks. They've got the pen, the watch, the keyboard, the lot. Nothing in Concord is going to bring them over. Nothing in Concord is going to mean that a kid who tries it is going to make them think it's great and drop Fortnite in a hot bubble. He's not waiting around 2 weeks to see that next movie unless it's Oscar worthy. And let's face it, no disrespect, it ain't going to be. I'm ready to be proved completely wrong about Concord.
Yeah.
But I am not convinced, if I'm honest with you, based on what I've seen. At least in terms of what I'm looking for in games. And traditionally, I'm a staunch sort of single player guy. Helldivers has maybe softened the edge a little bit, but that's all I'm entertaining. And that's because no one talks.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it just feels like an AI. I'm playing with AIs, but they're really clever.
I mean, I did think when I saw Concord, I did think of OG Tom. I thought this would be up his street, but then again, I thought exactly what you thought. Why is he going to come off Overwatch? What is it doing that Overwatch isn't that? I don't. I don't
think anything other than people sometimes want to try a bit of something new of what they've had before.
Well, I mean, we had all this with this sort of clone foam stars. I mean, who's playing foam stars?
No one. And this comes back to something I've always said on this show, and it's something I believe. You know, when Steve Jobs brought out the iPhone, they said to him, "Why did you bring this out?" And he said, "Well, if we'd asked people what they wanted from a new phone, they've ended up with a bigger screen and bigger keys."
Mm.
So we didn't ask them because quite often people don't know what they want until they get shown what it is. And I saw a similar thing Noel Gallagher was waffling on about. People didn't want Bob Marley until they got it, and then they knew they wanted it. People didn't know what, they didn't think they wanted this until they got it. It's like, this is true. Now, Concord's, it's not offering up anything new that we can see. It's just offering up Aldi's version of Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how it goes, but I think the state of play went okay. Good, in fact. But I can understand why some people probably didn't like it. And here's another question that circled in my mind. Obviously, Sony have cultivated off the back of what I would call saving the PS3 mid-gen by doubling down on first-party, well-created, story-driven games.
Mm-hmm.
They cultivated a desire for that and pulled fans to their console off the back of that. They fulfilled on the promise with PS4 and delivered those games. But that bulky fan base that's kind of followed them from console to console, and they've kind of evolved into this very much single-player, story-driven kind of game player. A little bit like Xbox have got their problem where they can't get their gamers to buy games. Sony are struggling to get their gamers to recognise anything outside of Last of Us, Uncharted, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima. And my other thing is, Sony seems to have really doubled down on these being their only cast of characters that we are ever going to see for the next 10 years solid. I don't know.
That's also this. They've tried to go on this new journey with these live service games, and I'm not sure that's what.
To be fair, Helldivers paid off, but then they probably put the brakes on everything else they'd been working on because they realised it wasn't going to grip the same. It's like, well, just keep doing what you're doing, and gold will arrive.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm disappointed that we're never going to get to play the Last of Us multiplayer game they seemingly spent millions on.
Yeah, that was strange.
If it was anything like the Factions game, it would have been great. But, what do I know? Dynasty Warriors, moving on from Concord, Dynasty Warriors didn't really make me feel like, wow. I think my takeaway from that was, wow, look at all those horses charging. Shame none of their mains move.
Yeah, I think I've never played a Dynasty Warriors games. I've never been into them style of games. I think someone I saw online said the last few Dynasty Warrior games have been pretty bad. But this one looked quite good. I don't know.
Dynasty Warriors feels like it crawled out of a tech demo on the PS2 and then never gave up. It just keeps going, doesn't it? Like, wow.
Yeah,
the PS2 was like, wow, look at all those people on screen. That is genuinely amazing. But now, honestly, no. Monster Hunter Wilds, that to me piqued my interest massively. I was on board for that.
Same with that. I've never been a Monster Hunter player, but that looked really good. And I mean,
the last one on PS4, I thought,
at the moment.
Yeah, the last one on PS4 I thought was great. And it got me thinking, I want to download that again because I think there's a couple of new skins that you can get for the older games off the back of this one coming out, which I thought was quite a nice Something they didn't have to do anyway. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I thought that was nice. Infinity Nikki, game's lost on me, mate. I don't know what.
I'm sure there's a market out there, but
it's a bit Stellar Blade-ish, I suppose. It's all about the dress up and all that sort of good stuff. I mean, as you say, there's probably a market for it. God of War Ragnarok PC officially confirmed for 19th September. No disrespect, because we are, I guess, in this modern era, we're platform agnostic. No disrespect to PC players. But in a 30-minute state of play, I'd rather have not seen that.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because it's a state of play for PlayStation. And
that's technically PlayStation, but it's more
I know, but
third-party multi-platform release. It felt like it was taking up oxygen in that, really. Because my thoughts are, what PC player sat down to watch the state of play?
Yeah, I know
in the hope of a God of, so I'm interested in one thing that may or may not be in it. So I will dedicate 30 minutes of my life to this in the hope. Not going to happen.
But on the other side of that, it's probably going to sell like hotcakes on the PC. They'll lap that. I think it will. I mean, the other ones have done really well, haven't they? Ghost of Tsushima and that has sold gangbuster numbers on PC.
Yeah, that's been something they've been wanting to get their hands on for a while. I just don't feel like God of War. Maybe it has. Who knows? Ballad of Antara offers high fidelity free to play RPG action on PS5 in 2025. Again, that looks okay, but free to play, it makes me a bit nervous. Astrobot was probably one of the biggest bangers out of there.
Yeah, I was excited.
Only concern is a lot of the bosses looked very familiar from the VR game, from the original VR launch pack that you got with Astrobot in it. Not
the Playroom one.
Yeah, the Playroom one, not the PSVR Worlds, the Playroom.
No. Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with the kids on that.
Brilliant.
But
Absolutely
a lot of
brilliant.
the characters, the world, the boss, the settings was ripped straight out of Playroom. A lot of the other things I'd already seen in the PSVR Astrobot Rescue mission. So I was excited to see this. Don't get me wrong.
What got me excited was as soon as you start watching a trailer and that music kicks in. Astrobot, their music they do on those games but the music so good.
Isn't about. It's a trailer. I'm reserving judgment. It will be an interesting game to play. I'm a little bit bummed out that there's no VR2 compatibility at all.
That's strange considering where PSVR 2 is at the moment. This could have been a banger on there that would get people.
The thing is,
it's I just
would it have been a system seller?
Maybe. I'll be honest. If that was PSVR 2 only, then I would consider buying PSVR 2 for that. Because
that would be the time to buy it because it's cheap. More evolution of the same. Until we get a little bit more of a deeper dive trailer, I can, I'm excited for it, though.
I'm looking forward to it. I love Astrobot.
I'm kind of looking forward to it. I just want to kind of see what we're going to get. Because if it ends up being a greatest hits clip show of the other games, I'm going to feel a bit seen off. Also, if you're going to make a spaceship out of a console, the PS5 looked shit.
Yeah, I was edit the swear out, Phil.
No, leave it in, Phil. We're grown-ups now. Yeah,
we've got the Attitude Era. I know what you mean, because I just thought, oh, wow, they're going to make... I thought that was like going to pop some wings out and do all the bits, and it just took off, and I thought, that looks ridiculous. It looks like kids holding it up in the living room going...
I know. Well, when it took off without the faceplates on it, I thought, wow, that looks badass. And then it starts flying through that warp circle, and it had the plates on, and I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, it looks like someone's just thrown it out of the window. There's nothing spaceshipy about it at all.
No,
I thought I know there's one bit I think I saw where the controller was flying. That looked pretty cool with the wings on this. That looked okay, but
I feel is going to feel pretty epic. When it all opens up when you've got the the haptics on and everything. That's going to feel pretty special. But the PS5,
it's not the most stunning looking spaceship ever.
Might as well have a brick.
Yeah, yeah. I know you don't have to be aerodynamic in space, but at least, yeah, that don't look right. It was
It
odd.
just looked way too big, didn't it? It almost filled the whole screen. It's like, oh, crikey, guys, could you zoomed out a bit? You know,
maybe sort of had some wings fold out and a little cockpit or something. That
like
doesn't
one
look
wing
right.
could have popped out the disk drive, couldn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
It looked odd.
I have no idea anymore.
That was funny. That was funny.
Anticipated free-to-play action RPG Path of Exile 2 ventures to PS5 later this year. Oh, we've done that, or have we?
No, we haven't. No.
Oh, okay. Again, that didn't really have anything in there for me.
No.
Until Dawn.
Yes. Why?
Is it a graphical improvement or no?
No. From what I saw, I actually thought some of the characters looked worse.
Oh, I did.
I thought, what? Yeah, I just thought, one, why are you remaking Until Dawn? I mean, I know the game's older, but it still looks really good. Still plays really well. It's, you can play it on your PS5. Still looks really good. I'm not quite sure the idea of a remake. I know it's an older game, but why not make?
I don't think it plays like an old game though.
No, it's a brilliant game, but I mean, I don't understand why remaking it. Why not make Until Dawn 2? Put your efforts into that.
I feel like they knew that they could make good money out of streamers playing this, and it would generally create an uplift in footfall because people always talk about Until Dawn and getting it on PC, which I believe this is heading to eventually.
Well, I know we streamed through. What's the one that was closest to it they made?
Man of Medan?
No, I done it recently, didn't I? Oh, the completely gone. It's got the cover. Looks a bit like Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
We start with Q. Can't remember.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, completely gone. But yeah, Community Corrections put it in. I recently, me and Bull
The Quarry.
The Quarry, that's the one.
When I relax,
yeah,
I come to it straight away.
Yeah, you always do.
When I put pressure on myself,
gone.
Can't come to it.
No. So yeah, I played that, and that was as close to an Until Dawn. That's got me thinking, yeah, we need an Until Dawn 2. So
I think that the chances of that are very unlikely, if I'm honest with you.
But I mean, when you're remaking or remastering, should I say?
Do you think they rescan the actors?
I don't know, but I mean, why do you? A game that looks that good still, if you pop it in your PS5, it looks really good. I don't. Your upgrade level's going to be so small.
I had a dabble with it probably in the last 6 months, and I did think to myself, "This is great."
Yeah, it looks brilliant, and they get. I don't understand why. If it was a PS3 game and they'd remade it like a Dead Space, fair enough. But a game that's that close to the gen,
it has its origins in a PS3 game, if you remember.
Yes, it does.
Mike Rouse was involved.
Yes, yeah.
And if you're a new listener, you need to go back through our back catalogue and listen to every single Mike Rouse episode. That man is a gaming god.
I could sit for hours and listen to Mike, just listen to his stories in the industry.
I sometimes just put his voice on in a private space. I don't want to go into what happens next, but it's not pretty.
You used to put my voice on. Don't you do that anymore? Or? You used to want me to ring you up at special times.
It's a bit too readily available.
Okay.
Some of the allure has disappeared.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah.
When you make yourself available, your allure is down.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I know we haven't done our late night phone calls just lately, so. Yeah.
I've been ringing you.
Yeah, but we know what that's for. But anyway, yeah, I'm not quite sure why they made this or have released
you don't
this.
know why they're making that. My question to you is, why did they make Marvel's Rivals? Because apart from the comic book nerds going, oh, no, no one. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just turning into an old curmudgeon. Maybe I'm entering a bit of a downward phase. Maybe I'm a bit depressed. I don't know. But Marvel's Rivals, I have no interest in that.
I haven't got any interest. I'm not a superhero guy. I ain't got a lot of interest in it. But apparently, I don't know if I dreamt it. I heard that's supposed to be pretty good. So I don't know whether that's...
Well, it's not for me.
No, it's not really for me. But
Open world martial arts RPG, and that's the thing as well. Do you know what? We've probably hated on your game that you were most anticipated about, that you were most excited about, but you got to remember it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
And if you want to hop in community corrections on the Discord or send us an email at questions@unofficialcontrollerpodcast.com and tell us why we're wrong, I will. I think hopefully by now you can tell I'm not a completely blinkered man. If you can expose to me some reasons why I need to be excited for these games, heck, I'll get behind them. As it is, we'll continue to bring the news on them, but it doesn't mean I'm going to eat the pie. Open world martial arts RPG Where the Wind Meets announced. That looked okay. It all felt a bit CGI to me.
Yeah, it was a bit CGI. Interesting, though. Interesting.
Yeah, let's see where it goes. It kind of saddles the sort of middle ground between reality and fantasy, and for that reason, mediumly interesting to me. Silent Hill 2's PS5 remake emerges from the fog on the 8th of October, looking like it's barely been remade. Or am I remembering the PS2 game better than I should? Or whatever?
I only watched the first bit of this trailer, and at first I thought, they're showing the PS2 one first. And I'm like, no, is it? That's the... I saw the character model and thought, it's the PS2 one. I thought, no, that's the remake.
What's happening here?
I thought, is that a remake, or is that just a really
What is happening here?
I'm not sure. I mean, I know Konami have had their ups and downs over recent years, but I mean, there's remasters, there's remakes. I mean, you would have thought, okay, Capcom, they're doing their remakes. Yes, they're changing them right up, but they look good.
Yeah.
They put the completely different character on. They really put this. Doesn't really look like that. I was quite excited for it because Silent Hill used to really scare me, and I thought I can imagine a group of us playing Silent Hill 2 be brilliant. And I just thought, that's not really.
It might still be good. Graphics don't make a game, but
no, you're
in correct. A world where you have to deliver a visual.
Yeah, on a trailer especially, you need to get the wow factor. I was a bit.
Should have smeared some Vaseline on the screen when they shot it. These last two VR titles, actually, Behemoth intrigues me. I'd like to think it was the saving grace of the system. I don't think it is, sadly.
No.
Although it does look interesting. It looks like Shadow of the Colossus kind of stuff going on. Which is interesting to me. The developers got some kudos and credence as well, because they developed the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, which I actually think is
was it them who done that? I didn't realize that.
And they look very different, don't get me wrong, but the fact that they're involved gives me some hope that Behemoth's going to come across the line and be decent.
Well, I've got experience with the VR, so
exactly, and they've got the experience of making a good dish VR game as well, because sometimes in these early years of VR, as I would call it, it's probably not that simple to make a game be good. It has to be so different from the flat screen component. Some have got lucky, No Man's Sky, people like that, but the big chunky visual aesthetic games are the ones that seem to do really well. Alien Rogue Incursion PSVR 2 gameplay creeps up on unsuspecting holiday 2024 launch, which
that looked good.
Again, it looks great. I'm very excited for it. Is it going to save the system? No, but it is going to add weight to the fire of, do I need one? Well, depends. You probably end up having 4 games back.
We both loved our PSVR 1s.
Very much so.
Yeah, I know it faded away and they stopped supporting it a bit, but there's a decent library there to buy one. At the moment with the PSVR 2, it needs, for me to purchase that, would need a decent library for me to be able to buy the system and have a decent set of games I can go in straight into. And it's creeping there, but not very quickly. I don't know if there's a load of digital ones or what, I'm not sure, but it seems to be creeping with games, but it needs more like this to add to the library to make it worth the expenditure, because as you well know, it's not cheap.
No. What do you have next for us in this pile of news? Because that was all very PlayStation centric. What? Tell me you're coming up the back doors with something good.
As always,
slathered in it.
Yep. Hang on, wait a minute. What if I've got an Xbox? Thankfully, the PlayStation State of Play event for May 2024 included a bit of Xbox-related news for various upcoming new releases, including the likes of Marvel's Rivals, Path of Exile 2, and Monster Hunter Wilds. So let's get into it. Here are all the Xbox reveals for May 2024's State of Play event. There was Dynasty Warriors announcement trailer. There was the Ballad of Antara. There was Marvel's Rivals, Path of Exiles 2, Monster Hunter Wilds. So yeah, well, that's good as well that they're coming to other platforms, and especially if you're an Xbox user, these games you can jump on board as well with.
Yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds is a great one to get excited about. I've just weed all over it, but Marvel's Rivals, you tell me that people are excited about it, fair enough. Couple of the free-to-play things in there. I mean, Monster Hunter Wilds, that's going to be a nice thing to secure on your system.
Yeah, and especially if it's crossplay as well. So if your friend's got an Xbox, you've got a PlayStation, you can play together. Yeah,
it's always worth doing the deep dive when Xbox do an event or PlayStation do an event. They dress everything with the window dressing of like, this is a system exclusive.
Yeah, and
it feels like it is. Don't get me wrong. And I guess the general takeaway from the general consensus of the public is, wow, look at me, I've had my system bolstered with all these exclusives. Well, they might have had world exclusive trailer presentation, and some of them might be historically tied to that brand. Dynasty Warriors, you close your eyes, you see the PS2 box, right? But that doesn't mean that they're not on these other platforms. And the good news is 5 new game announcements heading to the lean green Xbox machine as well. So nice little bit of something there. A little bit of extra news. I want to get me some more Lara. Netflix has announced the new animated series Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft will debut on the 10th of October 2024. The events of this show pick up after the video game Survivor trilogy, Tomb Raider: Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, all that drivel, and follow Lara in her next... Well, come on, mate. And follow Lara in her next chapter. The character in the animated series will be voiced by Hayley Atwell. Beautiful. And the adventure itself will explore ancient mysteries and uncover lost truths across all sorts of breathtaking and dangerous destinations. Here's a bit more about it from the PR release. Following the events of the Survivor series, Lara Croft has abandoned her friends to embark on increasingly more perilous solo adventures, but she must return home when a dangerous and powerful Chinese artifact is stolen from Croft Manor by a thief with an uncanny personal connection. Her daring pursuit will take her on an adventure around the world and to the depths of forgotten tombs, where she'll be forced to confront her true self and decide just what kind of hero she wants to become. In other Tomb Raider news, physical version of Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3 are remastered are now available for pre-order. RGT, that's here, because if Chris Barry ain't the butler, this show is I am cancelling the UCP.
It's got to be Chris Barry.
I stand by that.
Yeah, you're right.
So you need to do whatever you can do to get him cast, else the show is dead.
Well, he's a close personal friend, so I'll have a chat.
Yeah, you make sure you do. What do you think of all this? Expanding the Tomb Raider universe, especially the universe that's based on the Survivor trilogy.
Yeah, I think that's quite good, actually, because obviously when they done that trilogy, they almost restarted, didn't they? Missed all them other games, all them Angel games and all that, where it went a bit downhill. Started again. I played all 3 of the newer ones.
Good.
Really enjoyed them. Really good.
Yeah.
Shadows, I thought, was brilliant. So, yeah, I quite like the idea of this, animated as well.
I did find that the narrative was a bit odd in that first one. Tomb Raider, I think it was just called Tomb Raider, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think it was Tomb Raider, then Rise of the Tomb Raider, then Shadows.
It felt like I was playing Look What I Did Last Summer or some sort of teenage horror movie.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
The actors in it were awful.
Yeah, and they had to sort of cram in a whole lore into the first game just to get you into it, and it felt, I know what you mean. It did felt strange. But
really odd.
I think if you'd never played the old games, you probably wouldn't think too much of it. But I think if you'd played the original Tomb Raiders, you sort of come in thinking, is this Tomb Raider? It feels a bit odd.
Well, on the VR note, Tomb Raider was the first one. Rise of the Tomb Raider is the second one. Is that the one with on PlayStation you could get like a blue box celebrating all the years of Lara? It was like a card slip.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
I actually think that's got a VR level in it where you can walk around Croft Manor on PSVR 1.
It has, yes. Yeah, I think you're correct.
Is that still available or not?
Oh, I don't know. Might be. be worth having a look on the PlayStation Store, I think.
Well, if you've got the answer to that, you want to hit us up, you can either do it on the email or RGT, Community Corrections. Did we miss anything? Do you have an opinion or take on the news we missed? If so, how would they interact with us?
Well, you can send us an email at questions@unofficialcontrollerpodcast.com, or you can hit us up on Instagram or Twitter, or you can jump in our special little section on Discord, which is Community Corrections.
I'm wetter than a pot noodle that's gone past the fill line. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, that's criminal. Bin it.
Now, I can't bin it. It's my physical embodiment. He's being very nefarious at the minute. Have you seen all the modelling shots he's done on the Discord in the download section?
Oh, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. They are brilliant. Some of them are absolutely. If you don't know what we're talking about, in the Discord we had some. I think was it you done them, didn't you, George?
Yeah,
the AI, AI images of Stingray, absolutely fantastic. They are superb. So yeah, if you're not on there, have a jump on and have a look at those.
If you're on there, you need to be downloading those to your phone and using them as GIFs. I want to see only UCP GIFs. I've made a couple. I did the 3 perfection ones, so use them as you please. I want to see memes as well using UCP characters. Preferably not me.
Oh, they are brilliant. Because at first, when we first started using, or when you first started using the AI, it came out a bit random, but it seems to be getting more arrowed in at what you want now. And they are.
You have to be you almost have to do 2 paragraphs of text telling it exactly what you want to see, exactly what you don't want to see, and exactly how you want the image to look. And I've got pretty good at it.
Yeah, you seem to have sort of arrowed down on what needs to be in the detail now, and the bluebird and the mullet and the moustache.
One of the best things to get what you want out of it is to put a minus sign, a hyphen, and then put in how you want the image to look. So 4K photorealistic image, and it will do it. The rest of it, you have to be very precise as well. You have to say, Stingray is a man who dresses in denim. He has a blonde mullet and a moustache. He is from the UK. Because if you don't put in the UK, boom, it'll be in New York or something.
The Hoff.
Yeah, so you have to be very precise. And I think I missed a word out in one of the descriptions. And although the picture was great, it wasn't quite right. I think I did. I asked for it to create an image of now this is podcasting, which is something that Tom and I often say, because in the scene in Phantom Menace, Anakin Skywalker flying this ship around at the end of the movie, he goes, now this is pod racing. And I didn't type in that Stingray had blonde hair, and it produced this really awesome image, but he had a brown mullet. I was like, I'm going to use it, but I'm disappointed.
I suppose it's almost like a very basic sort of code, and you have to learn how to actually put it in correctly in the language it understands. So
maybe I'm on the wild west frontier of AI image creation.
You're like them early Spectrum coders back in the day.
Yeah.
You're the AI guru. You're the David Darlin of AI.
My skull ground into the ground will be the foundation that real AI image creators stand on.
You're the Steve Jobs of AI.
I'll be nothing but talcum powder as they crush my bones into the ground, but I will know I was there day one. On that note, it's time for a peek in what we affectionately call Stingray's Boot. What's nestled between some counterfeit nappies and a dodgy copy of Battlefriend all this week. These are new release highlights for the week June 2nd to June 8th, 2024. Is that 7 days? I don't even know, Mumsy. You writing the script now? Wow. Yes.
Wow.
I'm Elon Mao.
Panda Pop skipped in.
Listeners, these aren't digital or physical, or will be by the time this podcast is in your feed, but could be region dependent. Spring stop. Whoa. How are you seeing the mighty Ray, and possibly, if he's with him, his prodigy Wayne? Oh, hang on. Can I just say, I think when I saw Railway with Bobby, it was a bit lost on him. So I hope the British fans liked it.
Yeah. Why?
Because he just was like, okay, Railway. Right. Yeah, fine. Move on. So maybe it wasn't funny.
That was brilliant. Problem is now I keep saying railway instead of Wayne Ray. I'm getting muddled up now. Like, you've messed me up.
Perfect. So how are you seeing Sting and Rail?
Sting is like a fully animated version of Lara Croft, but he's got muddled up with the PS1 Lara Croft, so he's a bit pointy in certain regions, a bit triangular. But he's also got a moustache. He's got a lamb and butler, and his mullet's in a ponytail. So he's sort of almost from sort of neck down. He's a pixelated animated Lara Croft with sort of a pixelated Ray's head on top, but in a ponytail. Wayne's there, but he's like an astrobot, but he's rusty. So he looks like they've just pulled him out of a canal. So he's sort of sparking and he's almost sort of having a little fit at the moment, but I think he just needs a bit of a dry out in the sun and some new batteries. But yeah, that's how I'm seeing him this week. How about you?
I'm seeing Sting as Tyson Fury. I feel he's hiding in this vehicle to kind of get over his defeat, but he's like a budget Tyson Fury. He just looks like an angry bald dad outside of a Wetherspoons on a Saturday at about 5 o'clock when he's been on the sesh since 11. He's dribbling a bit. Probably shouldn't have driven, if I'm honest, but it's only my interpretation of him. And I'm looking at Wayne Ray, and he looks like that little Hezbollah chap that you see on the memes. He's got this little fez on, and he's kind of like shadow boxing with Sting, who looks like Tyson. Well,
Tyson Fury's he's a tall lad. I mean, there's quite a size difference there.
Yeah, no, he doesn't look tall. He just looks like a shaven-headed, smaller version, but he's very drunk. He's either got kebab or could be...
So like a little Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I'm thinking more Happy Shopper. And he's got some stains on his T-shirt. I don't know whether he's ordered food or whether he...
Or someone just lobbed a kebab at him or something.
I think what happened is he declared about 10 o'clock when he came in the spoons that eating was cheating. I think at about 1 o'clock he hit the wall. He was sucking on a pineapple block out the urinal. And that didn't really satisfy his calorific needs.
Well, we've all been there.
He snuck to the condiment tray and he just squirted ketchup and mustard in his mouth.
Whoa.
Yeah. He played the hard man. Wayne didn't get in on any of that, and he sat tucking into what to me looks like a garlic baguette.
Nice. Good choice.
Yeah.
That soaks up.
Yeah.
The spongy quality of garlic bread soaks it all up.
He's only had shandies, but to win, that's like 15% strength lager.
Exactly. You don't need many of them before he's going to be falling flat on his face.
To be fair, I would say he's out drinking Sting.
Wow. I mean, a pint to Wayne ratio is quite different as well.
He's the same size as the glass.
Wow.
He gets in it like a hot tub and then just drinks his way down.
Wow, that's an image.
Yeah, you don't want dregs. You don't want dregs of that. If you mind sweeping and you've got Wayne's bath, I think you're in for a wee treat.
Literally.
Let's, with all that shenanigans done, give it here, Tyson Ray. Life by You on the PC, June 4th, 2024. Open a new world of creative possibilities in Life by You. A new life sim created for you and by you.
That's a bit vague on what it is, but
it's a life sim created for you.
Great.
And by you.
Give that here, Wayne. Oh, you give me a shot. God, he's still sparking. Jeez.
Oh, you've got Astrobot Wayne. Yeah, sorry.
God, he's rusty.
I thought he'd kind of give you a little... I saw him just give you a little dig in the shins with his fist.
That's like being given something by a live taser. It ain't dried out properly yet. It's sparks coming out everywhere.
A live taser?
Yeah, a walking taser. Destiny 2, the final shape, PC, PS5, and Xbox Series of consoles, June 4th, 2024. The final shape looms. A Nightmarsh calification of reality into the witnessed twisted design. Embark on a perilous journey into the heart of the traveller, rally the vanguard, and end the war of light and darkness. Sounds like Star Wars.
Someone get Bungie on the phone. I think they've had a little bit too much to drink down at Spoons because, like, the calcification of reality into the witness's twisted design. What the hell is going on here?
No, I've just covered my webcam in spit trying to say that.
I'm showering in it. Bring me the Radox, Mumsy.
I'm spraying all over the place.
Bring us this. Oh, is it me who's coming up the rear this time?
That's you. It's your turn.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space, June 4th, PS5, Xbox Series of Consoles, and PC. Plan your own alien invasion and harvest humans as iconic killer clowns, or gather a team of survivors to fight the extraterrestrial threat in a game based on the 80s cult classic movie. Welcome to a new crazy, they wanted that in there, take on an asymmetrical multiplayer horror experience. My good God. And do you know what? From that, my mummy is Life by You on the PC. Someone get the developer on the phone because they're not going to get greed. They are not.
Mine's Killer Clowns.
It had to be, didn't it?
Yeah, because I'm not really interested in Destiny 2, and that had 80s in, and then he's got 80s in. It just lures me in.
What about a care home? It's got 80s in it.
Either or. Yeah.
What's your VHS pick?
I think we might have had this one. I think you might have picked this one a couple of years ago, but I'm going to go over it again because I haven't watched it for years and it always intrigued me, and that's the film Identity.
I don't know what it is, so I wouldn't have had this.
Oh, wouldn't you? Haven't you heard of this film Identity with John Cusack and Ray Liotta in?
Oh, no.
Oh, right. You need to promise me you're going to watch this film. It's very, very good, that film. Very good.
A film recommendation.
Yeah. I want it watched, homework done, and I want it emailed to me by Friday, please.
I don't know what it is about film recommendations, but they go into this part of my brain called the bin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No disrespect to you.
No,
for anyone that recommends me a film, I kind of need to discover it at my own time, and then I remember that someone told me it was good, so then I'll watch it. But if you tell me to watch it, chances are I probably won't.
Okay,
I think we're all like
don't watch it then. Don't watch it. I'm trying a bit of reverse psychology. Yeah, mustn't watch it. It's now ordered on Amazon.
The logic gates in my brain are failing. I don't know what to do with that.
It's like the spark, like little Wayne.
Oh. He just come over to me and bit me kneecap.
Yeah, he's a bit, I don't know, he's malfunctioning somewhere.
If he bit my kneecap, I don't know what he did to you.
Yeah.
Probably tried to plug his USB into it, get a charge up. Right. My VHS mummy is going to be Star Wars: The Phantom Menace on VHS.
Ooh, nice.
I like.
Hmm.
I'm going to come out of the closet. I like Phantom Menace. Feels Star Wars to me
in
a way that's a lot of the other stuff just doesn't.
No, I'm with you on that.
It's got its annoyances, but it feels right. And if it feels right, 9 times out of 10, it is right.
Exactly.
With that all said and done, I look down on the floor, and all I see is Sting Fury gum shield, and next to that, a very small fez and some swimming shorts.
Wow.
From a Ken doll.
Wow. That's different.
Now he's gone, and we've got our smattering of games and DVDs, VHS, call it what you want, UMD, even if you are that way inclined. I know I am.
Yeah, definitely.
Those that paid attention at the start of the show know that the way we get out of the show is the way we got into the show, by me saying to you, what are you hoping to play?
I'll probably do the rest of the Batman Enemy Within, because now Sony have thoroughly pulled me pants down and given me a good spanking well, just giving me the first episode. I'm going to have to buy the rest now and finish it, because actually the first episode, that was really good with the Riddler and bits and pieces. I really enjoyed it. So I will carry on and play that. Whether I'll play any more of Crime Boss, I don't know about that. There's a few more games I got recently for my Switch that I haven't played, so I want to jump onto those. Also, I'm really thinking of playing a big game again, a big open world game, and the two I've got in my mind at the moment are Avatar and Witcher 3. I'm stuck between those. I might jump on Avatar this week. So I've got recently bought the PS5 games of that.
Oh, have you?
Well, The Witcher 3, I got that that was just advertised cheap somewhere for £12, the complete edition for the PS5. So I bought that for £12. And the Avatar one, Mrs. RGT bought for me for, I can't remember if that's Christmas or birthday. I think it was Christmas, the Avatar game. So I'm thinking of jumping into that, because that looks quite good to me. I was always a bit worried being Ubisoft, but
I don't know. It looks good, but it also looks a bit PS2.
Yeah,
I know that sounds preposterous because it's 4K and it's 60 FPS.
I know what you mean.
Got this amazing vegetation graphics and deformation techniques and all that good stuff.
It's just that Avatar world intrigues me a bit, so I thought I might give that a go.
It just reeks of a PS2 movie tie-in.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's probably why I've been hesitating since. But yeah, I'll be one of those I'm going to jump into. How about you? Helldivers, Vita.
Probably Helldivers on the Vita. I've been spending a bit of time, the Vita that I play on the most is the Vita that was the worst condition. I got it from a cash converter. So I saw it as a bit of a something to keep me busy. Mate, it looked like it had come out of a mud bath. And it was for sale in cash converters on a little...
filthy like that?
Literally. Covered in brown mud, funk, all wedged in the screw holes.
Oh, don't. That is
and I bought it because it was super cheap for cash converters. And this was some years ago as well, so Vita hadn't reached the monstrous heights it's got at the moment. So I'm glad I've got it. And the fact it turned on and worked, I was like, fine. I saw it charging in the shop. I was like, right, that's really all I care about. And I took it home. But still to this day, I'm cleaning it.
Really?
My latest one is I noticed under certain lights I could see a little bits of mud in the little tiny 0.5 mil crack around the side of the screen. And I was like, oh, I can't believe that's still there after all this time. So I deployed a child's toothbrush.
How is that? I mean, I haven't been in water or anything, is it? No, because it won't work with it. But I mean, I hate to think what the insides are like.
I wouldn't dare open it.
No.
But the outside now is hygienically clean. It's so clean. It looks so fresh. It's a shame because the back is scratched to buggery.
Because I've got 2 Vitas and I really keep thinking about doing a Bada Binks on one of them. I'm not sure.
I do as well.
Especially, I think now you literally just download it, don't you? You literally
it doesn't even get you banned from the PS.
Yeah. Hit me up, Bada Binks, to tell me how easy it is. I'm really thinking...
You literally follow a link on the web. Ooh. Somewhere, somehow, he sent me a link on Discord, I think it was.
I remember seeing that, yeah.
You press it, and that's it. And I've not dared do it. Oh.
Yeah, hit me up.
So I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
I'm thinking of doing that. Because I got 2. When I had 1, I thought, I don't know, I don't want to brick the 1. But if I got 2, do I risk it?
I think I've got 3.
Yeah, you've got issues. Hello, all OG models. You got the later ones with the less.
I've got an OG that I got.
Because the OGs are OLED, aren't they? And the later ones are just LED, aren't they?
I prefer the LED.
What, over the OLED?
Yeah, I prefer the form factor of the of the LED.
Oh, I prefer the form factor, but the screen's brighter isn't it, on the original.
Yeah, but it tends to present what I would call a very gaudy representation of the image.
Oh, so
colours are oversaturated, whereas the LCD version tends to be muted slightly, but the colour representation overall is more uniform.
I like the colours as well. You can get different colour ones, like the blue and the reds, and that. They look
I've got a cosmic orange or something it's called.
Oh wow!
Yeah. I'm trying to think who that was off. That was off a guy on Instagram who used to have like the best Vita collection ever. I can't remember his name now. Johnny takes photos on his Vita or something. I need to get to the. I need to.
Well, you bought it off him, did you?
Yeah, he used to put them up all the time. And he said, "Oh, I'm thinking of selling these. Would you be interested?" I was like, "Absolutely, I would. I'll take the orange
Give
one."
me the orange one now, boy.
And he sent it in an orange PS Vita official carry case as well. So
Ooh.
yeah, I was stoked about that. He was a good lad. And I said to him, if anyone I was going to buy a Vita off anyone, it'd be you. I think his name's Johnny Vita Island. Let me search now, because if you're not following him, you probably ought to. He's probably been arrested now for nefarious stuff.
Selling illegal orange Vitas.
Johnny.
Need to get him in Discord.
Johnny Island Gaming, as he's known now. Level 34 game collector, Vita Island, Switch core. He's always taking... Everyone needs to... I'm not going to do it, but everyone needs to get on to Johnny Island Gaming. He's probably already on the Discord. Shows you what I know. Tell him that his photos are amazing. He could have won a Mummy fridge sticker for this. Right?
Yeah.
Because we've got the competition at the minute where if you put a good photo up on there, you get, if it qualifies, you get a Mummy sticker for your fridge. Yeah, he looks like the perfect candidate to me. Picked up his PS5 post-Christmas purchase in January 2023. Yeah, not really nice, thoroughly nice chap. So if you're not following him. And if you've got the spare time, convince him to get on the show's Discord. With all that said and done, it probably only leaves us the space to do... I found an old one. It's a bit out of date, but it's still checked out. But we've got the subscriber list, which we're going to read out. So we don't want to bore you with it every week. But at the end of the show, if you've got this far and you're thinking, oh, I've enjoyed that, we're going to read a list of people that support the show financially, which we super appreciate. I sometimes call them subscribers. They are way more than that.
Yes, definitely.
If you want to follow the show and support us with a subscribe, simple, easy to do. Follow, download the shows on Spotify, however you want to do it. We're cool with all of it. Behind the weekly shows, there is a Discord community that you can or choose not to get involved in. It's totally up to you. If you want to support the show, at the bottom of every episode, there's a little link you can click to do so. There's various tiers, varying levels of support. RGT's sweating now because I'm probably going to make him talk about the tiers.
No, I can bring the tiers up. You just have to give me a second. So, Phil.
Phil McCavity.
Yeah.
Phil McCracken. Will he do?
Yeah, he'll do. Hang on.
You want more Phil?
I always want more Phil.
Phil.
You're not helping me. You'll put me right off now.
Phil Mavoid?
Right, got them. I've got them.
Thank God.
Yeah, there's so many more Phil innuendos you can do.
One or two more.
So the tiers are as follows. You've got $3, you get read out on the show every week. $5, you get read out on the show every week and get our yearly art merch, piece of our yearly art merch as we change our art, as we call it, the album cover.
Nice.
Yes. $8, get read out on the show every week. You get the yearly art merch, plus you get access to the Unglorious chat, which is a chat, subscriber chat there for the $8 and above tiers on our Discord.
Very exclusive area. That's got some of the shows what I'll call alumni in it. People that have been in and around the show from the get-go. They've had content read out. They've been involved very heavily, been in Discord. Massive foundation of the community that we build across.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And then we've got the $10, which is same again, read out in the show, yearly art merch, plus access to the Unglorious chat and a quarterly Zoom chat with the hosts, which I know I said I'd get it this week. I haven't done it, but we will arrange a date this week. I will release a date this week for everyone so we can have our Zoom chat. I was thinking of doing a Saturday evening, so we'll see which hosts are available. You might just end up with yours truly, but we'll just see who's on and who's there and who's available. But we'll do one soon because it's coming to that time of year now where we need to be getting that first one done.
I will try my best to be there.
Yes, hopefully. You never know. We might be able to get a Bobby on or a Seb. We'll see who's available. But yes,
it'd be nice to have Seb back. We all joked about his tearaway text and pass, but Seb's got some stuff going on in the background.
Yes,
and go into it.
Bless him.
But he's just taking a little bit of time out of the show.
Yeah.
He's still very much a part of it. And when he's ready to return, we shall embrace him with open arms.
Definitely. But yes, I'll release that this week, so I'll get a date out. Don't worry if I know it's not. We've got people who work all different shifts, night shifts. We've got people who work weekends. The likelihood is a few will miss, but we'll make sure that when we do the next one, it will be available for those people that missed the first time. So there's going to be,
I insist that happens.
Yes, so there'll be 4 of these a year. So we'll make sure that, I know it isn't going to be possible everyone can get on there, but
it's not always going to be possible that everyone can get on every one. But we will do. RGT will do his best. Send me complaints if it don't work out, and I will sack him. But we'll do our best to make sure. Look at him.
Yes.
Now. Don't worry, I'm not going to sack you.
Oh.
All right, you're fired. How do you fire yourself? Do you do it in the mirror?
Yeah, I always do it in the mirror. So I find it the best. You okay? Or?
I don't. My mind went to a very strange place off the back of that comment. And
you said about firing yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
Yeah,
it's good practice.
No, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I must say thank you to our worldwide supporters. Let's kick it off as well. Everyone, no matter what level you're on, we appreciate you. Early adopter packs are landed and they've gone down well, which I'm super stoked about.
Yeah, great seeing all the little videos and clips and
been really wonderful. Hardware Retro's video is wonderful. We've got Marathon Gaming doing one, Digital Monkery's done one. Loads of people smashed them up on their Instagram stories. Like super stoked about it. People loving their early adopter t-shirts. It's almost Tesco value-esque. But it's almost an illusion of grandeur because they're literally Ray is an early adopter according to that t-shirt. Therefore, they are Ray.
Yep, without doubt.
And the other artwork was obviously a riff. That artwork is locked exclusive to the early adopter pack. It was the Thelma and Louise inspired jump across the Grand Canyon, where Ray is filling in for the immortal Thelma and Louise, and him and Wayne. They're going to stick the landing though. Those bad boys. They're going to stick the landing. Just drive
that Bluebird's no trouble. It looks better than what the PS5 spaceship did in Astrobot anyway.
Yes, it does. Slightly lesser budget, but we pulled it out of the bag anyway. Yeah. One thing I would say is we've got merch ideas happening all the time, but if anything particularly sticks in the ether, let us know and we can do a run of it. Or maybe do like a mini kind of Kickstarter on the Discord for it. If there's a piece of merch that you want, I'm not going to start putting the early adopter stuff out there because I think that needs to be protected. But if an image has come up on the show or within the AI art that gets created and you want to see that done, we can do a little mini Kickstarter almost on the Discord. If we get maybe 10 people that are up for a shirt, then minimum, then I think we could run one, couldn't we?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe how we should do it going forward. I don't want to. People are very generous with their support, and that's great. And I don't want to overwhelm them, but obviously there's still I struggle to believe in myself, but 220 some odd episodes, there is a hankling for UCP merch, and we want to deliver, but we don't want to overwhelm everybody.
No, definitely not.
So worldwide supporters, first one, Trestles, New York, a fine restaurant where we hosted an episode there. It was an ASMR special because of all the food and eating that was going on, but very popular episode, and thank you very much for your support and hospitality. Who's next?
Then we have the wonderful Vita specialist, Spada Binkster.
It's a me, Spada Binkster. Next, it's Tingle Tuna, not Turner, not any of that. And I have to say, having met him at one of the UCP meetups in Lincoln, he's a handsome devil, isn't he? And I tell you what.
Yes, he is.
He's super funny as well. Yeah. Like, I found myself being strangely homoerotically attached and attracted to him. And I mean that with sincerity. I had to distance myself from him a little bit because he had a hotel. You know?
I had to keep sort of reining you back in.
Yeah, the temptation was, I was like, no, you need to
stop following
on yourself. He's not into you in that way. He's just not into you at all.
Yeah, come and have a coffee and
the show. So back to the old boy. And I must say, is gamer collector area that showed itself on the Stingray section the other day. I was like, he's been holding back.
Yeah, I haven't seen many people with a 3DS collection like that. That was rather impressive.
If 3DS collections were genitalia, the guy would be King Kong.
Without doubt.
Then again, is he I suppose scale-wise, it's probably the size of a garden shed. So, yeah.
But yeah, about right. 6x9. Next up, we've got Digital Monkery, who's been a long-time supporter and also does our challenge accepted.
Yeah. Absolutely. We don't think we could do it without him. And he's also on the periphery of organising a UCP meetup. This one will take place in Norwich, maybe?
Yeah, I think he was either thinking Essex or Norfolk, but they're not quite sure yet. But
okay, so if you want to get involved in that.
Keep an eye out on that, yes. And he's also
unofficial meetups.
Yeah, and he's also he does the Mumsy stickers as well for the best screenshot. So, and
if you're sat there thinking, "I never with anything," literally post a screenshot in the screenshot section, and you're very likely going to end up with a mummy sticker.
And signs your challenge accepted. They're very easy to be easy games to get into. They're quick challenges.
Current one is Pokemon Go, right? You just got to catch the heaviest Pokemon you can.
Heaviest Pokemon. If you play Pokemon Go and you're playing within a month and suddenly you get everyone, just post it on there. You don't know, you might win.
A little bit of a different challenge as well, because maybe not everyone's got the latest gaming tech.
Exactly.
Pokemon Go will work on a phone, so hopefully that can be inclusive. Get you out walking in the summer months as well. So very inspired by that, Digital Monkery. Well done. I don't know why, but we're still in a cupboard with an Axolotl apparently.
Yeah.
I think Marathon Gaming's in here as well.
Wow, that's
what's going on. I saw some evolution of the lore on the Discord, and I was like, "Oh, do you know what? I'm just going to lean into it."
Yeah, it's just like a really odd fever dream.
It's not a dream. Who's next?
Rose Space Monk.
He's a devilishly handsome character as well.
Mm-hmm. Is he just?
Wow. You don't talk about me like that. Next up, we've got the Gaming Gram. I don't know why, but for some reason, on
I still haven't ordered it.
You haven't corrected. That's his third week running, and he's not the Gaming Gram. He's the Gaming Gram.
I know, yeah. Sorry.
Thank you very much for your loyal support, sir. Who's next?
We have Bald Border.
Rick Stein's bodyboarder trainer.
Yes, exactly. And skateboarder.
I do believe he was the first person to leap from a bodyboard and catch a haddock in his teeth.
He was. He's in the Guinness Book of World Records for that. But he had to gum the haddock, so he didn't, perforate.
So he was the innovator of the whole Stein fishing process.
He made up the gum job, yeah.
We avoided the comical laugh at the beginning of the episode, but we couldn't help it at the end.
Sorry, I'm expecting a text message from him in a week. But anyway,
someone who would love to give me a gum job, it's Boba.
Yep. Then next up, we've got Scotty, Marathon Gaming.
Absolute legend. Been coercing with that gentleman this morning about his NSYNC game that he's got sealed.
Sealed as well.
Talking of seals, I'm not talking Kiss by a Rose. I'm talking the Seal Master Elliot. If he buys a game, 99% chance he ain't going to play it. He's just going to stick it on his shelf with his other mummified corpses of decaying plastic and hatred.
It's like a game warehouse.
We love you for it. Yeah. I was a bit confused because there was a good story on the Discord the other day where someone had bumped into Elliot. Now, I didn't know whether it was Seal Master Elliot or whether it was Elliot Cole, and he'd been bought an LP. I think it was Carl's.
Yeah, it's Elliot Cole. He bumped into him in Brighton where Elliot lives, and he bought him a record. I mean, what a legend. What an absolute legend. What a nice guy.
I'll tell you my takeaway when we had him on. If you're wondering who is this Elliot Cole character we're talking about, he's obviously the star of the YouTube channel Retro Future with his billions of subscribers, where he does his mods on consoles and other bits. He's broadened his horizon at the minute with his 2 channels that he talked to us about. And some more interesting things come on there. So he's made himself a Rolex and other things. He's been repairing his moped.
And play songs and guitar, and he's very talented lad and a great guy as well.
Man. Not to decry our own Seal Master Elliot, but I just wanted to clear up whether it was which one it was, because Elliot's also Seal Master Elliot is also a very generous man.
Yeah.
You get my red-headed stepson.
Yes, that's the absolute unit that is Ginge. I swear he gets bigger every week. I mean, that lad is absolutely ripped. I mean,
when you posted up that picture of him in the early adopter pic, my jaw hit the floor.
I was just like, my godson, you have been lifting some weights there, fella.
His arms look like he's got giganticism.
Did you see my picture? Because him and Rampage were having a bit of a bicep off on there. So I posted a picture saying they should be the UCP bouncers at the live event, and I posted a picture of Max and Paddy.
Say sorry now. That is awesome. Yes. Next out the bin, not the bin. Next out the
wow,
out the list is Emma Sharp.
Yeah, sorry about that, Emma.
Emma's never going to listen again after being harassed by OG Tom in the last couple of episodes, where she was asked if she was on the apps.
Well, there's a bit of a worrying thing with that because she's going on holiday soon to out near Farmerton Way, so I'm a little bit worried because she'll be wearing her UCP t-shirt. So, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay. Don't get in the way of destiny. That's all I'll say.
Well, yeah.
If I've had Emma, I guess you've got to take the next character.
And I'm more than happy to have Harvey Retro.
Nice. Okay. Well, he was on last week. He's an industry guru in the video games world. It's nowhere near Berlin. And if he listens and supports the show, do you know what?
We've made it. We're done.
We're someone.
Yes, exactly.
Based on... He's the next supporter of the show.
We follow that up with Mumsy.
Wow. Well, let me...
Bless her heart.
Let me get between you two, because the next one, I hate this one as well. It's the RGT fan club. I don't know who this is.
Why do you hate this?
Like, no one's subscribed and changed their name to, whoever RGT fan club is. Fair play to you, and thank you for listening, and very good. But no one's called themselves, like, I don't even know what I would be called. I haven't got a snazzy nickname or nothing. I'm...
Are you jealous, do you mean?
I don't want to do this anymore. I don't even know if Who's next?
Pete Brocklehurst. Thank you, Pete.
Billy Marmite.
The legend.
It's not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah, you either love him or you hate him. Next up, we've got my good friend Simon Pryke. Thank you very much, Simon.
And part of his requests when signing up.
Yes. Here we go. I'm going to close my eyes and just listen.
Fat Gunsy. Fat Gunsy.
Jesus. I wasn't expecting that.
He wanted it in a sec. Oh, Fat Zangief.
Yeah, that's not sexy. That's odd. I thought you were going to do it in like a deep, sexy voice. Fat Zangief.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Yeah, you've took it to the... Anyway.
Let me do it properly then, because he pays his money, he takes his chances. Fat Zangief.
That's better. That's what.
Is that sexy though? I thought he'd want more of the climax noise. Except when I did the first high pitch one, I called him Zaf.
Don't know. She sounded like
someone's going to have to listen back and tell me what I said, because it was more like Zaf Tangief.
It's almost like
sounds like a Turkish dental clinic. Yeah.
Wow.
That's legal. That's legal.
Yeah. Well, Phil. Yeah,
leave it in.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, but anyway, thanks to all those guys. Yeah, we couldn't do what we do without you. It's amazing, your support, and all been on the Discord and all the different things you do. It's brilliant. Yeah, so we really appreciate all that.
We really do.
Laughs aside, we really appreciate it. It's fantastic. And
we also appreciate the fact that the podcasting world has changed the way it measures stats at the moment, and you've rallied to our cause. And you're all downloading every single episode, which is we very much appreciate. It just helps with the visibility of the show.
It's really weird what they've done at the moment. It's odd. And it's not just us; it's every podcast. Everyone's down at the moment because of the new way things are done, and I think it's on Apple and different things have all changed stats. So at the moment, to get the sort of the boost and to get seen, if you can, just go back, download the back catalogue if you can, and it'll push us up immensely.
Hit it like a gambling addict in Vegas. Just press beep, 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 all the way down. Put it in your phone and forget about it. Put it in your pocket and forget about it. You're if you could take that moment for us, we do appreciate it. Like we say, the show isn't paywalled. There's only one paywall section, which is the Unglorious Chat, but that's very exclusive at the moment. So the show is free. You get it at the same time as everybody else every single week. We try and make it as long as possible as we can and to drag it out so you've got something to listen to, hopefully to and from your commute, or at least make one of your working days that little bit less painful. And thank you for honouring us with your listens in return. RGT, is there any more left that needs to be said, or is everything else better unsaid?
No, I think
that might be the most profound thing that I've ever said, but it's probably going to take a couple of listens to fully understand it.
Yeah, you've made my head hurt a bit because I tried to answer something that I didn't actually understand, which is a bit weird.
That's how I live.
I got stuck then. I was buffering. No, I think we've covered everything there. I think.
Well, if that's the case, that's all we have time for this week, listeners. As always, thank you for your time. I look forward to the pleasure of speaking to you again next week. Until then, happy gaming. And remember, there's nothing wrong with being given the unofficial controller. It's what you do with it that counts. See you, RGT.
See you laters.